Today is the 16th of April 2024. Okay, and this will be our second video on equations of lines. Okay, we've been looking at lines. We've looked at it before. I showed you how to do the coordinates. Okay, I showed you how to plot a straight line graph, the curve, the parabola, and even we did some cubic graph. Okay, we saw that. Before I start into this lesson, okay, thank you to all my subscribers, okay, and to the viewers, everyone, those who are liking the video, thank you very much. Please, if you get the video, share, like, subscribe, nice comments, okay? Don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Follow us on whichever platform you can follow us on. Okay, I'll really appreciate that. As long as they are not going to charge you for anything, please subscribe and follow. Okay, thank you very much. And if the account is not yours, you know what I'm going to say. Okay, ask permission from the account holder or ask somebody to help you open your own account. Okay, thank you very much. In the comment section, you always say, please follow my no/script. So, for instance, we have a diagram here. We have all these. Okay, so if you, this is angle at A is 90 degrees. So if you hear angle at A is 60, it's not true. Follow the notes, okay? Because that's a right angle triangle. That means it's 90 degrees. So always follow the notes, okay? Beware of scammers, please. Beware of scammers. Don't be scammed. If somebody is asking you for donation for an orphanage or for some charity or for some sick person, it's not us, okay? Please beware. Recap. I started introducing equation of lines with you yesterday. So we look at the various kind of lines which we already know, like the line x equals 0, y equals 0, x equals 1. And then I went further and I said, what if it's x greater than 4? Okay, where would the region be? We saw that if it's greater than 4, you find the region which is upwards, but you don't shade towards the line, okay? Some people, instead of not shading to the line, because at times it's difficult to see, they use broken lines, which I'll show you today, okay? So you can also use broken lines for maybe x greater or greater or less than, but immediately is equal to y equal to greater or equal to something, or s greater or equal to something, or less or equal to something. It has to touch the line. In the region, you have to shade that region. Okay, that was where we got to yesterday. Now today I'll start again. It's a right angle triangle. So we have this triangle. I've stripped the wording off to make it easier for us. And for the sake of time, okay, it was a ladder on a wall, okay, at a distance Okay, and then they said we should find which ladder is appropriate. So actually, we are finding the length BC. Okay, it can be also an angle of elevation or depression question, but you have to sketch it first. Okay, so I took the wording off and I brought the sketch just for the sake of time. Okay, now immediately you have a right angle triangle and one side is 90 degrees. You have to first think about Pythagoras if you are finding length. Okay, so basically AB here is 10 meters, AC here is 20 meters. Again, our diagrams are not to scale. The angle at um, BAC or at A is 90. We are not finding an angle. Okay, we are finding the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse, that one, is opposite the right angle triangle. So Pythagoras said BC, which is a hypotenuse all squared, equals 20 all squared plus 10 all squared. In the end, remember to add your units, okay? So now BC all squared is 10 all squared plus 20 all squared. Immediately you do this, the rest is calculation. 10 all squared is 100. 20 all squared is 400. So 100 plus 400 is 500. Okay, so BC, the length we want squared is 500. Now BC is plus or minus the square root of 500. So if you use the calculator properly, BC, the length, okay, is in meters, so our answer will be in meters, will be 22.36 meters. That is if they ask you to leave your answer to two decimal place. So try and read it to the end. Or 22.4, one decimal place, if they ask you to leave your answer to one decimal place. 22 meters, two significant figures, or the nearest meter or the nearest whole number. Whichever wording they give you, they won't give you all. They'll say leave your answer into significant figures. That will be the answer you go for. Okay. Don't write three different answers. For the exam now have to choose. You won't get the last mark. Okay. Read the last sentence. If they haven't restricted you, then I will stop here. Okay, and then go on to the next question. Okay, or I'll leave my answer to one decimal place, or maybe to the nearest whole number, since the diagram has its answer to the nearest whole number. Now, the second structure is also a right angle triangle. Okay, here again we have ABC. The 90 degrees is always opposite the hypotenuse. Okay, I just wanted to stress that because at times students have the ability to forget at times. Okay, and at this time pressure and a lot of stuff. So I just thought I'll repeat that. Okay, so the 90 degrees is opposite the hypotenuse. The length AC is the hypotenuse for your right angle triangle. So AC all squared will be equal to 10.5 all squared is in kilometers, so your answer will be in kilometers. Okay, plus 5.6 all squared. Okay, immediately you set that up. The rest is again calculation. So AC all squared. So this is where we are now. 5.6 all squared will be plus 10.5 all squared. Will give you 31.36 plus 110.25, which is 141.61. AC all squared equals the square root of plus or minus 141.61. So AC, okay, will be 11.9 kilometers because the unit here is in kilometers. That is to one decimal place. And then the nearest kilometer will be 12 kilometers. Okay. Yeah. So if you've not been restricted, this answer or that answer is right. Again, don't give two answers. Okay. You don't have that time in the exam room. Spare that time to solve more challenging questions. Okay. Now, today we want to look at the equation of the line, as I said in the starter. Today, I'm just going to use one line and draw four graphs and show you, okay, something. Okay, so we are going to draw the line x plus 1. Okay, now use the interval you've been given. Okay, I wasn't given any interval here. Okay, I had to choose. So I went for all positive. So I chose x for 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, as you can see in my table. So x, when is 0 plus 1, y is 1. X 1 plus another 1 is 2. That is for y. When x is 2 plus 1, y is 3. When x is 3 plus 1, y is 4. So the x coordinates and the y coordinates that I need to plot is 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, and 3, 4. So these are my coordinates here. You remember we did this, okay? So not to be muddled up, these are my coordinates here, okay? So now, on the graph, we said we should draw the line. We should draw the line y equals x plus 1. So now that I have my coordinates, I'm going to plot, okay? So that is my y-axis, that is my x-axis, that is my origin, okay? That is my line, okay? Equation of the line is second video, and that is my date. So the first example, it says I should draw the graph y equals x plus 1. Okay, so now the coordinate is when x is 0, y is 1. So that is the first one. When x is 1, y is 2. When x is 2, y is 3. And when x is 3, y is 4. Okay, I could do the negative, but I wasn't given any interval. Assuming I was given an interval between -2 and +3, then I'll use that. But here I wasn't given. So I guess draw this 4 coordinates and join it on a straight line. Okay, so that is the graph y equals x plus 1. Okay, this is guess the graph. the line. Okay, now the second one, it says, the second example, okay, it says we should draw the graph y equals less than or equal to x plus 1. So it's the same graph we've drawn, but this time we need to find a region, okay, which is less or equal to x plus 1. So I'm going to repeat the same graph again, which is here my example 2. So I've repeated the example 2. Okay, now how do I know that this region is right? Because if I have the line y equals 1 in that direction, okay, or y is less, I know that everything below that line is less, okay, and everything above y equals less, greater, will be greater than 1. Okay, y equals, but this is a straight line. Assuming the line is very complicated, how do I know? Okay, so this is what I want to show you today. So first of all, you need to choose a point not on the line. So I will choose 0, 0 here. Okay, so here again, if you look at the line, okay, the line we drew, this point 0, 0, the origin, is not on the line. To find out whether y is less or equal to x plus 1 is this region here or the region above the line, I'm going to choose this point here because this point is not on the line. Okay, now after I've chosen that point, then when x is 0 and y is 0, so I'm going to put it in the original equation of the line. Okay, so x is 0, y is 0. So what do I have here? If I investigate, when x is 0, okay, and y is 0, I have 0 less or equal to 0 plus 1. So I have 0 is less or equal to 1. This in natural or mathematics is true because 0 will always be less than 1. So if I want the region for y less or equal to 0 plus 1, then it will be that region that includes the origin. Okay, so for this graph, y less or equal to x plus 1 will be the whole of this region. And because of the equal to sign, it will touch the line. Okay, it will touch the line. So all this region here below the line is y is less or equal to x plus 1. That will be the second graph here. Again, that will be my example to a line of y, a graph of y less equal to x plus 1. Okay. Now, the third one, we want to see the same line, y is greater or equal to x plus 1. So we went for the origin 0, 0, and we found out that if we put y equals 0, x is 0, we are going to get a 0 less or equal to 1. But 0 in this case, if we put x equals 0 and y is 0, we get 0 is greater than 1 or equal to 1, and that is false. Okay, so the graph will be shaded upward. So it means that the origin 0, 0, the portion that has 0, 0 will not be part of the graph. Okay, so we can't shade that portion. So if we look at our first example, okay, to find the portion y is greater or equal to s plus 1, we need to shade the above, because this is 0, 0. When you put it in this equation, you are going to get 0 is greater than 1, greater or equal to 1, and is false. So now we are going to shade the region above. So it is only the region above that will satisfy this graph. Okay, so that is why we shaded this region for this graph. Okay, now there's fourth example here. Okay, y is greater plus y is greater x plus 1. Okay, so here again we draw the same graph. Okay, y equals x plus 1. Okay, here, but we want the graph y is greater, okay, greater x plus 1. Now, in the previous example, we know that greater or equal to is above. If we test it with the origin point, there is 0, 0 as the origin. It won't be in this, it won't be in that region. It will be in the above region, above the line. But because here y is greater and there is no equal to sign, we can decide to represent the line with broken lines, okay, or draw the straight line and not touch the line. We need to leave a distinct space so that our line doesn't touch. At this level, it's better to leave it as broken lines, okay, because it will be easier for you to see what you are doing. Okay, so some teachers will teach you leave it as a broken line, or some will say draw the straight line because it's a line graph, but shade it such that your shaded portion doesn't touch the line, because it's less is greater than but is not equal to. Okay, so another way you can do it is just leave it as a broken line. Yesterday I showed you an example when I drew the line and I shaded such that I didn't have to touch the line. Okay, so you can do that, or you leave it as a broken line. So first of all, what did we do? We drew the graph. I intentionally brought just one equation of a line so that I can walk you through these stages. So we drew the line. We were not given any interval. So I chose positive interval to make our work easier. Okay, and then we went on to find the region y less or equal to. So because the origin 0, 0 is not on the line, it's easier to substitute. So I used that. So we got x less or equal to 1, which is true because 0 sorry, because 0 is less or equal to 1, which is always true. It will be forever true. So it means that region here is what we choose if we want to draw the line y less or equal to x plus 1. So in any graph, maybe the origin might go through the origin, but you can also choose a simpler point like 1 0, and you test it and see if it is true mathematically. Now, when we did it, we used the origin, this origin here, to test y greater than or equal to s plus 1. We saw that is false because 0 is never greater or equal to 1. Okay, it will never happen. So because of that, our region is upward. And then we went on the fourth one and we said that what if there is no equal to sign? Okay, which I referred you back to yesterday's video. It can also mean that um, you draw the line, the straight line, because this is a line on its own. So you draw the straight line, but you draw the region such that it doesn't touch the line. Or it doesn't touch the line, but you draw the line in a broken way, as I did here, so that they know that you want y greater x plus 1, but the region will still be as upstairs, because if you put this origin point in your equation, you are going to get 0 is greater than 1, which will be false. Okay, so if 0 is greater than 1, then it won't be the region down the line, it will be the region above the line. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you. So I'm just trying to use this to just easily show you what how to find common regions on graphs. Okay, so please subscribe, like, share, follow. Okay, invite your friends to watch. Okay, beware of scammers. Okay, take care of yourself online. Thank you for watching today's video with me. Okay, and I'll see you in the next.